Well, hello Internet, you're with gothatfunk and a video response to Gata Aggressiva 411. Hello, it's nice to meet you in video form. I know I've spoken to you in comments over the past 6 months, but I've never really responded to your videos. And may I say it's nice that you're making videos more often again. Anyway, right, the video in question, Don't Smile Unless It's Genuine. I want to say first off that I agree with the broad thrust of your video. Emphatically, in fact. It does get really, really annoying that there seems to be some kind of societal pressure on people to be happy more often than not, if not all the time. And I think that is partly because people want to be treated pleasantly. And so if a person acts happy, then they're more likely to be pleasant towards other people. So I don't think people actually care if you're really happy or not. They just want you to be pleasant towards them. So I think whatever pressure that there is out there in terms of what society expects us to behave like, in terms of happiness, sadness, and whatever, anger, etc., it all comes down to, hey man, I don't want to deal with your emotions. I can't afford to be empathetic with you right now. So if you treat me happily, if you're pleasant towards me, then I can just write off your emotional state. I don't have to think about you. I can carry on thinking about me and my problems, and I don't have to worry about you because you smiled to me and told me to have a nice day. Now, maybe I'm being far too cynical about that, but that certainly is how I perceive things when it comes to the pressure that society puts on people. But I would go further. I mean, I personally put a lot of pressure on myself to maintain a lid on my emotions, both the good emotions and the bad emotions. And that comes from the past 2 decades or more of meditative introspection. You see, I personally feel that really strong emotions like anger tend to have pretty deep roots. And what you can do in your inner world is basically find out where the roots of anger are, and then when you find yourself starting to feel anger, if you express that anger in some way before you actually achieve a state of irateness, then yeah, it doesn't end up building up so much, and it ends up not coming out in a destructive or even unpleasant way. Now, I'm overstating it. It does come out in an unpleasant way for the people around me, I'm sure. But in general, for me, I don't feel like I've lost control of myself. Self-control is really, really important to me. And the irony, of course, is that I don't actually believe there is any such thing as self-control. I mean, one of my quotes is, any sense of control is an illusion. And I strongly believe that. But on the other hand, I want to live in the illusion that I have some sense of control over my life. Always accepting that I know deep down that I don't really have that control. It's a feeling. It's a feeling that I've got my hands on the steering wheel, when in fact I'm a balloon in the air. I'm at the mercy of nature and the elements, aren't I? Really. Anyway, digressing. I also want to say that things like sadness, anger, confusion, depression, etc. All of those things often get called negative emotions, and I have referred to them that way myself from time to time, but I don't think that means just because they're negative that they're without any value. And I try really hard, especially with sadness, to allow myself to feel sad. But allowing myself to feel sad doesn't necessarily have to mean that I express that outwardly to the world. It could mean that, but it doesn't have to mean that. And in your video, when you talk about, people are expected to sort of rise above their sadness or their anger or whatever, again, I would refer back to, that's only because they don't want to have to deal with it themselves. It's not because they think you shouldn't feel those feelings. It's that they don't want you to inflict your emotional state on them. It's all selfish, and that's just my opinion. I could be completely wrong about that. But as a generalization, I think most people really don't give a fuck what other people feel like. They're too self-absorbed. Now, maybe I'm projecting, because I know I am a self-absorbed person. And I can be awfully, awfully self-conscious of how I'm treating other people, and whether I think I'm doing the right thing or not is always really important to me. And sometimes, yes, I end up sidestepping my own emotional state in favor of keeping people around me happy. And that's something I shouldn't do. And something, the older I've got, the less I've done that. But I certainly have caught myself doing that throughout my life, off and on, in varying degrees. I'm just going to close off by saying I want to thank you for your video because the timing just happened to be perfect for me. I'm having a bit of an emotional day right now. And I find myself struggling with the urge to express it and cry for a while versus the urge to sort of rise above it because, hey, you know, I don't want my emotions to rule me, and so forth. So it's a balancing act, I hope. And one of my quotes again, you know, when it comes to emotional states, the only way to balance the scales is to try to empty them. This has Got That Funk. Thank you for watching, and may all your ups and downs be ups.